Hi guys! I just figured even though I made a video on my Instagram IGTV thingy, and I made a video on here, why not give a more in-depth kind of version of my Jade Snape OC? So here we go. Of course, her aforementioned parents are Severus Snape and Bellatrix Lestrange. I've been working on this character because I'm a big fan for years. And trust me, trying to make sense out of how Bellatrix is alive is harder than it sounds. Snape, on the other hand, he was a Death Eater and turned good on the behalf of Dumbledore, and he's really good at potions. Since I'm a fan, I'm one of the people who are like, oh, of course he had anti-venom, so when no one was paying attention, he just healed himself, boom, and ran away. Bellatrix, on the other hand, is a little more complicated. Okay, now I don't know where I got this from, whether it be J.K. Rowling herself, somewhere online, the books, I don't know. But apparently Bellatrix has a bad rap for being with dudes. She apparently had a husband once that she killed, I believe. So my mindset on her being alive is she had a lover at the time of the Battle of Hogwarts that no one knew about. But for whatever reason, they were fighting, she didn't like him, I don't know. So she tricked him into drinking a polyjuice potion to look just like her, and that's the version of Bellatrix that Molly Weasley kills. Meanwhile, Bellatrix is off gallivanting who knows where, because she's all like, okay, I've been pining over Voldemort for years, and apparently love is not his thing. He's not worth my time. Peace out. Fuck that guy. So she just runs off, and yeah. So, of course, later on down the line, somehow Severus and Bellatrix cross paths again. And they, I guess, bury the hatchet. I don't know. I never really thought that part through, but one thing leads to another at some point, and they hook up. Since she is alive now in this backstory, I've always assumed that she's just rehabilitated now, because she has, like, Voldemort's gone, there's no evil person for her to be going all buddy-buddy with, and now she's with Severus. Anyway, I gotta work on that, who cares? But later on, shortly after the Battle of Hogwarts, I, Jade Snape, am conceived, and I think it's when you're 11 you get a Hogwarts letter, so that's when I come in. Now that the explanation of the parents is done, you will understand my explanation of my blood status. Even though Severus is a half-blood, he is a wizard nonetheless. Bellatrix is a pure-blood, because she's a part of the Lestranges and the sister of Narcissa Malfoy and all that. So, half-blood or not, he's still a wizard, and she is a pure-blood. Both of my parents are magical, so I am a pure-blood. And my little fantasy, I guess you can call it, was when I got taken up to Hogwarts, for some reason I was the only first-year student that got sorted into Slytherin, right? So, there was a big old party, because it's like, hey, even though there's one, hey, it's a new kid. Let's make friends. Why not? Okay, so we've established Jade is a pureblood, was the only Slytherin appointed during her first year, and who her parents are. My imaginings are that Albus is dead. There's nothing we can do about that. That's just canon. You can't mess with that part, because he's just gone. For whatever reason, I'm thinking that either his brother Aberforth, or someone from the professor's tag or ministry tag, if there's one, is now the new headmaster. I don't know. And after a while of me being born, Severus came out of hiding and went back to school, being like, hey, I'm back, thanks for not hating me and understanding I was doing good, actually. And whoever the headmaster was gave him his desired position, Defense Against the Dark Arts. Being the child of a teacher or professor at a school, whether it be in the wizarding world or real life. There's bullying there, there's friction, because it's like, oh, we're gonna tease you because you're the literal teacher's pet, you're their child. So even though she's a pureblood, even though she's a Slytherin who already get a bad rap because of Voldemort and who knows who else, even though, by the way, Merlin was a Slytherin and he is a good wizard, by the way, not many people realize that, they overlook it, but like, they get a bad rap. Now she is also a student while her parent is a teacher, so she gets bullied a lot. On top of that, even though Severus has been known to do good, despite being a former Death Eater, her mom was a loyal Death Eater, so she gets mocked and teased for that too. So as you can imagine, from all the bullying she receives, she is quite shy and afraid to put herself out there. But don't get me wrong, she's more than definitely qualified to be a Slytherin. It's just that she's been through all this, there's so much against her here because her parents were former Death Eaters, even if one was actually a spy. Either way, that's just how kids think about it. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter, they were still bad, or whatever, I don't know. But she's just always put in this bad situation, always in her own little bubble of shyness and secludedness. That's why she gets along better with the Hufflepuffs. She started going to the dueling club because she wanted to be a dark wizard catcher to escape all the reasons for this bullying, and met Cyrus. They became friends. So as I said before, she gets along with Hufflepuffs better because they're usually mocked and teased, kinda, because they're the ones who kinda live, like, by the kitchens, and they're always like, ooh, cookies, this, that, and the other, and stuff like that. So that's why I mentioned her going to the dueling club, wanting to be a dark wizard catcher and all that, because she's bullied, you know? So she's like, okay, I'm getting bullied for all these things, but I'm actually really good. The only thing that I actually feel confident in is my skills. That's why she becomes a dueling person and stuff like that. I mentioned she was friends with Cyrus. He is also a Hufflepuff. Go follow my friend Next Blaze, by the way, because that's him. And then later on, at some point, she just runs into Clover, my friend Badger. Follow her too. Okay, so she's such a good duelist, has flying colors with all of her grades, especially in defense against the dark arts, and obviously potions, because, come on, really? You expect Severus to just ditch his, like, stash of stuff? Of course he's gonna still have it. Of course she's gonna know how potions work. So she's good at everything, especially those. So she enters the dueling club. After a while, they see that her and a couple of the other students are amazing at it. So whether it be because of whoever the current headmaster is, or the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, who I assume would be the dueling club person, or maybe it was just Rain, I think he runs it, they make an advanced dueling club, and she excels at that as well. Okay, so this is the final part, I promise, because as much as I've thought this through, this is where my mind runs out. I'm not sure what current school year Jade is currently at, but I was thinking that whenever the next Triwizard Tournament comes up, they alter the rules a little bit, since they were inspired by Harry being so young and doing it, to where anyone who qualifies as underage can actually get in only with a parent's permission slip. Of course, Severus is like, no, people die in this, you're not Potter, blah blah blah, you're gonna die, even though he knows she's good. Bellatrix, on the other hand, knows her daughter, knows she's powerful, and has stuff to prove. So she secretly signs the permission slip, gets me through it, and I actually win.